What's up, y'all? What's up? Today is a bittersweet day. Bittersweet. Um, 24 days leading up to Christmas. My husband did the book Advent challenge for me. I received 24 books, 24 great titles, and today's video is the last installment, books 19 through 24. What I can say is one, I am so appreciative. He did not have to do that for me, and he did it. And I love that. I love that for me. I love that. I found some new to me authors, people I've never heard of. Found some new to me titles. So authors that I've heard of, but not this particular book. There are some popular books on there that I know about that I hadn't gotten around to reading it. Either I wasn't interested initially or I just felt like, whatever. And then there's some books that I wanted to read that was on this list that I'm just so excited about. So let's just get into it. Let's start with book 19. Again, this is the last installment, the last 6. He did a really good job. I just want to say, like, we got all kind of genres, different authors, like different storylines. I'm very excited to get started. Here's book 19. Pray by Michael Crichton. So y'all don't know this, but Michael Crichton is my husband's favorite author. So like I heavily suspected that a Michael Crichton book would be on this list. What surprised me is that it's so far deep into this list. Like I thought this would easily be top 5 books that he got me. So I kind of was like, maybe he's not gonna do it. He just wanted to throw me a curveball. I should have knew that he was gonna give me a Michael Crichton book. I've read a couple of Mike Crichton books with him before. So I think we read Sphere, Airframe, but I've never heard of Prey. This book was released in 2002. And I'm excited, one, because I like the other Michael Crichton books that I've read. They do kind of get in the weeds. They do kind of get in the weeds. So I did have to like back up a few pages a few times because I just got so lost. But I like the way he writes. I like his style. And I'm excited because since it's Michael Crichton, I'm thinking that my husband might read this with me. And we can kind of do like a buddy read. So that's exciting. I feel like he's more inclined to do that with this book because he likes Michael Crichton so much. But if you don't know, let me get into the synopsis. In the Nevada desert, an experiment has gone horribly wrong. A cloud of nanoparticles, microrobots, has escaped from the laboratory. The cloud is self-sustaining and self-reproducing. It is intelligent and learns from its experience. For all practical purposes, it is alive. It has been programmed as a predator. It is evolving swiftly, becoming more deadly with each passing hour. Every attempt to destroy it has failed, and we are the prey. As fresh as today's headlines, Michael Crichton's most compelling novel yet tells the story of a mechanical plague and the desperate efforts of a handful of scientists to stop it. Drawing on up-to-the-minute scientific fact, Prey takes us through the emerging realms of nanotechnology and artificial distributed intelligence in a story of breathtaking suspense. Prey is a novel you can't put down because time is running out. That sounds good. Let me take this dust jacket off. Let's see. Ooh, okay. Look, gray and black. Nice. I'm excited to read this. I'm excited about the prospect of my husband joining me in reading this and us kind of talking about it to the extent that he's going to talk about it. Book 19. And I'm glad I got that. I kind of knew/suspected I was going to get a Michael Crichton book. It was just a matter of time, and he delivered. Next, okay, before I show you what's next, before I show you book 20 in the challenge, let me give you a little bit of backstory. This is a book that I've been meaning to read for a long time. I just haven't prioritized it. But 2 days before it was gifted to me in this challenge, I was scrolling Instagram and I saw somebody like comment about the book. And I said, you know what? Let me just prioritize it. I've been wanting to read it for a while. Now's the time. And I added it to my Amazon cart. Like I literally added it to my cart for my next like bulk purchase or whatever. And then he gifted it to me. I was like, it's meant to be. Like, I'm meant to read this. Yeah, it's meant to be. King Leopold's Ghost. I'm excited about this. I know it's gonna be heavy. I know it's gonna be like thought provoking. I know it's gonna take me through a range of emotions. I know I'm gonna be going through it with this book. I'm gonna feel so many different things, and I've been mentally preparing for that. However, I feel like the way, because I'm reading these books in order and the way that he's placed them and like what's surrounding this book, I feel like is really good because we got the Michael Crichton book that's like sci-fi ahead of it. So it's not too deep. And then the next book is lighter than this book. So I'm excited about this. If you don't already know what this is about, let me read you the synopsis. At the turn of the century, as the European powers were carving up Africa, King Leopold II of Belgium carried out a brutal plundering of the territory surrounding the Congo River. Ultimately slashing the area's population by 10 million, he still managed to shrewdly cultivate his reputation as a great humanitarian. A tale far richer than any novelist could invent, King Leopold's Ghost is a horrifying account of a megalomaniac of monstrous proportions. It is also the deeply moving portrait of those who defied Leopold, African rebel leaders who fought against hopeless odds, and a brave handful of missionaries, travelers, and young idealists who went to Africa for work or adventure, but unexpectedly found themselves witness to a Holocaust and participants in the 20th century's first great human rights movement. Yeah, I've been wanting to read it for a while. Now's the time. I'm going to prioritize. I planned on prioritizing it before this, and now it's so perfectly placed in this challenge that I'm gonna read it soon, and I'm very excited to get into this. Just because I've been wanting to read it for a while. I don't even know why I haven't prioritized it. I just didn't. I have no good reason, but now it's on the list, and I can't wait to get into it. This next one is a psychological thriller, a mystery suspense novel. No One Can Know by Kate Alice Marshall. I've never heard of this author, never heard of the book. You see, it was a book of the month read. So it's December 2024. This was a book of the month read for December 2023. Let me just strip off this dust jacket real quick. Ooh, my favorite color is yellow, y'all. Look at that. Look at how pretty that is. Mm. And you see December 2023 book of the month. It's just so pretty. I love stripping these books down. Anyways, let me read the synopsis for this if you don't already know. Three sisters, two murders, and too many secrets to count. 14 years ago, the Palmer sisters left their home in Arden Hills and never returned. But when Emma discovers she's pregnant and her husband loses his job, she has no option but to return to the house that she and her estranged sisters still own and where their parents were murdered. Emma has never told anyone what she saw the night her parents died. Even when she became the prime suspect, the plot thickens. But her presence in the house threatens to uncover secrets that have stayed hidden for years, and the sisters are drawn together once again. As they face their memories of the past, rivalries restart, connections are forged, and for the first time, Emma starts to ask questions about what really happened that night. The more Emma learns, the more riddles emerge, and Emma begins to wonder just what her siblings would do to keep the past buried, and whether she did the right thing staying quiet about what was whispered that night. No one can know. It seems, I mean, like the synopsis sounds good. Like I said, I've never heard of this book, never heard of the author. I'm not gonna look up any reviews or anything before I actually read it because I want to go in blind. You know what I mean? But it sounds good. If I saw this on a shelf, I would not pick it up. I'm just being honest. I wouldn't buy this book. However, that's not saying much because there's been plenty of books that I read, like especially books that like were we voted for in our book club that I wouldn't have picked up off the shelf, but that were great. So it's like I wouldn't have picked it up, but that doesn't mean that it's not gonna open me up to a story that I really enjoy and like I'm glad that I read it. So that's one that is taking me out of my comfort zone, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, it's cool to diversify what you typically read. This next one This one came out in 2024 and it's gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. I'm super excited about it. Never heard of this author, never heard of this book. This was new to me. The Night Ends with Fire by KX Song. Let's just appreciate this book real quick. We're just gonna appreciate it. Let me slowly strip it down for y'all. We're just gonna appreciate this book. Let's just appreciate. Like, it's just gorgeous. Like, drop dead gorgeous. Like, come on. I'm really hoping this book is as good as it looks. Like, yeah. Gorgeous. Let me read y'all the synopsis. If I can get this little dust jacket back on. Well, what did I do? Okay. Sorry, y'all. Infused with magic and romance, this sweeping fantasy adventure inspired by the legend of Mulan, okay, follows a young woman determined to choose her own destiny, even if that means going against everyone she loved. Raised to obey, destined to rebel. The three kingdoms are at war, but Mi-Ling's father refuses to answer the imperial draft. Trapped by his opium addiction, he plans to sell Mi-Ling for her dowry. But when Mi-Ling discovers her husband-to-be is another violent, ill-tempered man, she realizes that nothing will change for her unless she takes matters into her own hands. The very next day, she disguises herself as a boy and enlists in her father's place. Okay. In the army, Mi-Ling's relentless hard work brings her recognition, friendship, and a growing closeness with Sky, a prince-turned-training partner. But has she simply exchanged one prison for another? As her kingdom barrels toward destruction, Mi-Ling